Does she have, Pilar, does she have a car?
Yes, she does.
Muy bien. Yes, she does. Ahora en casa. Yes, she does. Otra vez. Una chica. Yes, she does. Does she, una chica, does she have a car? Yes, she does. Does he have a car? Pilar.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Muy bien. Does he have a car? Otra vez.
Yes, he does.
Ahora en casa. Does he? Otra vez, chico. Does he have a car? Una chica. Does she have a car? Muy bien. Pilar. Does he have a book by Shakespeare?
No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Okay. Ahora en casa. Does he, chico, does he have a book by Shakespeare? By Shakespeare. Does he have a book by Shakespeare? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Does he have a book by Shakespeare? No, he doesn't. Pilar, does she have a garden?
No, she doesn't.
No, she doesn't. Very good. Okay, en casa. Does she have a garden? Muy bien. Ahora, Pilar, más preguntas. Mi frase es, I have one nose. Tienes que preguntarme, how many noses do you have? Okay. I have one nose. One nose.
How many noses do you have?
Muy bien. Ahora en casa. I have one nose. How many noses do you have? ¿Puedes repetirlo? Muy bien. How many noses do you have? Muy bien. Pilar, I have 2 hats.
How many hats do you have?
Muy bien. Muy bien. En casa. How many hats? How many hats do you have? Do you have? ¿Qué significa hat, Pilar?
Sombrero.
Muy bien. Otra vez en casa. How many hats do you have? Pilar, I have 2 feet. ¿Qué significa feet?
Pies.
Muy bien. Y una es?
Foot.
Foot. ¿Y 2?
Feet.
Muy bien.
Okay.
I have 2 feet.
How many feet do you have?
Muy bien. Ahora en casa. How many feet do you have? Y presta atención. Soy Fitz. My name is Fitz. I have 2 feet. No 2 feet. Soy Fitz. My name is Fitz. I have 2 feet. How many feet do you have? ¿Puedes repetirlo? Más alta. Muy bien. How many feet do you have? Pilar, I have 2 front teeth.
Okay. How many front teeth do you have?
Muy bien. Y vamos a cantar un poco. Y puedes traducirlo. All I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth. Pilar.
Todo lo que quiero en Navidad son mis 2 paletas.
Muy bien. I have 2 front teeth. How many front teeth do you have? 1 tooth, 2 teeth. I have 2 front teeth. Pilar, I have 10 bottles of Irish whiskey. Qué bien.
How many bottles?
How many bottles?
How many bottles of Irish whiskey do you have?
Muy bien. Una vez más.
How many bottles of Irish whiskey do you have?
Muy bien. I have 10 bottles of Irish whiskey. Qué suerte. I have 10 bottles of Irish whiskey. How many bottles of Irish whiskey do you have? How many bottles of Irish whiskey do you have? Muy bien. Otra vez tienes que practicar. En casa, coche, ducha, en la calle. Gracias. Os dejo con Richard.
Okay. Do you have a house? Do you have a car? Do you have breakfast at home? 3 preguntas. Vamos a analizarlas en la cámara número 1. Ok, ya sabemos de sobra a estas alturas ya de las clases que do you have si tienes. Si tienes en posesión. Do you have a car? Yes, I do. Do you have a house? Yes, I do. Do you have breakfast every day? Yes, I do. Breakfast. Así es la pronunciación. Breakfast. Es el desayuno. Vienen las palabras break, fast. Break es romper. Fast, además de rápido, también significa ayuno. Rompe ayunos, como en español. Ayunar es no comer, pero el desayunar es romper el ayuno. Entonces el desayuno, la primera comida del día, es el desayuno, quitar el ayuno. En inglés igual, break fast. Pero la pronunciación se ha evolucionado hacia una palabra de sonido diferente. Break, no break, breakfast. Practicad esa palabra, su fonética un poquito, porque la gente aquí muchas veces lo dice mal. Esta palabra tan corriente, el desayuno. Breakfast, breakfast, breakfast. Tenemos el verbo desayunar. Nosotros no tenemos ningún verbo similar a desayunar. Decimos tomar el desayuno. De hecho, no decimos tomar el desayuno, decimos tener el desayuno. Entonces, yo desayuno en casa todos los días. I have breakfast every day at home. I don't have breakfast in a bar. I have breakfast at home. Ahora, almuerzo fuera, o como fuera, la comida de mediodía. I have lunch, lunch, lunch. No launch. Launch is lanzar. Lunch. I have lunch every day in a restaurant. I have lunch. Almuerzo en un restaurante. Y ceno en casa. I have dinner at home. I have dinner at home. I have breakfast at home. I have lunch in a restaurant. And I have dinner at home. También se puede decir supper. I have supper at home. Pero es mucho más corriente decir dinner. ¿Okay? Aunque la última cena de Jesucristo se dice the last supper. Y hay un veneno para ratas también que se llama the last supper. Okay? The last supper, pero decimos dinner. To have breakfast, to have lunch, to have dinner. Y do siempre como auxiliar. What time do you have breakfast every day? What time do you have? Aquí, have you got, no se admite, es incorrectísimo. What time do you have breakfast every day? Me? No os asustéis. I have breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning every day. At 6 o'clock? That's very early. Yes. I have breakfast at 6 o'clock every day. And Richard, what time do you have lunch? It depends. ¿Cómo? It depends. It depends. It depends. It depends? ¿Qué es eso? It depends. It depends. Repeat the question. Richard, what time do you have lunch every day? It depends. It depends. ¿Eso qué es? How do you say it depends in Spanish? Depende. It depends. It depends. Yes. Repeat the question. Richard, what time do you have lunch every day? It depends. It depends. It depends on my agenda. If I have lunch alone, I have lunch at 1:30. 1:30. If I have lunch with other people, if I have a business lunch, usually I have lunch at 2 o'clock or 2:30. I prefer lunch at 1:30. I have breakfast at 6 o'clock in the morning. I have breakfast at 6 a.m. I have lunch at 1:30 p.m. And Richard, what time do you have dinner? Me? I have dinner at 9 o'clock. I have dinner at 9 o'clock. Where do you have dinner? Usually, I have dinner at home. But sometimes I have dinner out in a restaurant. And do you have lunch at home? No, I don't have lunch at home. I never have lunch at home. I have lunch out.